The Scanian War reached its bloody and decisive zenith on the morning of December 4th, 1676, near the university town of Lund, under a sky heavy with frost and bitter cold. The conflict had been ignited by Denmark's ambition to reclaim the fertile lands of Scania, which had been ceded to the Swedish Empire less than 2 decades prior. King Christian V of Denmark, leading a professional and well-equipped force, sought to shatter the hold of the young Swedish King Charles XI. By the time the two armies met on the frozen fields, the Swedish forces were desperate, malnourished, and outnumbered, yet they were driven by the existential necessity of defending their imperial prestige. The engagement began in the pre-dawn darkness as the Swedish army executed a risky maneuver to cross the frozen Kavling River, catching the Danes off guard. What followed was a chaotic and visceral struggle characterized by brutal hand-to-hand combat and devastating cavalry charges across the ice-slicked terrain. Charles XI personally led his right-wing cavalry with a ferocity that broke the Danish left, chasing them miles from the primary site of the engagement. However, this pursuit left the Swedish center and left wing dangerously exposed to the disciplined Danish infantry and the leadership of Christian V. For several hours, the battle hung in a murderous stalemate north of the city walls, with the snow turning crimson as thousands fell to musket fire and pikes. The tide finally turned when Charles XI returned to the field, striking the Danish rear and collapsing their lines. The carnage was unparalleled in Northern European history. Nearly half of the combatants perished, with total casualties estimated at over 8,000 men. This tactical Swedish victory effectively ended Danish hopes of a swift reconquest, securing Scania for the Swedish crown and cementing Charles XI's reputation as a warrior king. The exhaustion of both kingdoms at Lund dictated the grueling, defensive nature of the remaining war years, ultimately preserving the territorial status quo of the Baltic region.